Hello, am I back?
Hello, everyone. This is Louis of Spiritual Technologies 2.0, and we are now live with Dr. Ibrahim Karim. Hi, Dr. Karim.
Hello, how are you? I think I got cut off for a moment, huh?
Yeah, you are back. So, Dr. Karim,
Just call me
we
Ibrahim. Okay.
Ibrahim, we've got so many questions. Um, so, which one would you like to answer first?
Well, you choose. I'm with you.
Okay, let's see. Question from V is, which research team captured the timeless state of Andromeda?
Which research team? I answered that. It was done by the famous Russian astronomer Kosyrev. He's a very famous astronomer in Russia. He even has, I think, one of the stars named after his name. And he is the one who discovered time waves. He put the theory out. Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay. Let's see. So for those of you who are still streaming this presentation, please feel free to ask Dr. Karim or Ibrahim any questions that you have, and we're gonna read it. The second question, I think, I'm not sure if this is already answered. It's from Annie. It's magnified when it's about to rain. The rain is canceled somehow, and the stress remain in the air. It's stopping normal rain cycles, and it's like the microwaves heat the humid moisture in the air, and temperature goes up. I'm not sure.
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, that's I think a follow up. Alice asks, "Can this be enlarged so that the pictures of the whole families will fit in?" I think he's talking about the biosignature emitter.
Yes. I didn't understand the question because there's an echo. You know, I'm in Egypt, and somehow the connection is not that good, maybe on your end or my end, but
Okay.
I have an echo around your voice. Hello? I can't hear anything now.
Yeah, can you hear me, Ibrahim?
Now I can, yes.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'd suggest that you read through all the chat that's coming in. So those are the questions I think that are new. I think most of the questions during the presentations were already answered. So you can just read the questions and then you can answer it. Okay.
Well, I've been answering them, but I'll have another look and see what's not answered.
And then just let me know if you need help.
Well, actually, the video is somehow it's covering the questions, so I can't get to the questions.
Okay.
You know, there's this
We can.
when it says offer explore by John Chombansky and all that
Okay.
is written over the questions.
Okay, that's been
Oh,
removed.
now I see the questions, yes.
Okay, great.
Okay. You have my daughter, Doreya, who's in Montreal, Canada. She's doing a lot of the answering there for me too.
Okay.
Okay, can we put more than on photo on the tray, and do they get pregnated? Well, actually, it would be better to make one emitter for every photo. You know, you don't want to mix energies of people together. So you just photocopy the emitter. You make as many as you want and put one photo in each one. Okay? It seems you can't hear me, huh? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Karim.
Okay, that's about the emitters need to be adjusted on site while the tools on the store don't require. Well, the emitters, if you're speaking about the paper emitters, there's no adjusting, just put your picture in there. That's for the paper emitters. And it says impregnation. Well, you know, when dust gathers on the paper emitter, it will create a static layer that will stop it from working. So it's just dusting it off every day will help keeping it emitting all the time. What's the next question? Well, Lucy's asking if she has to buy an emitter, and I think that we can send you an emitter in the program, and you can email it to the people who joined the seminar. It's not a problem. It can be emailed for free. You don't have to pay for it. This is our present to the people who are joining this seminar. But I see that Dorea, my daughter, she's very, very active answering all the questions for me. So if you don't hear my voice well, I see her writing answers to all the questions, which is very good, you know.
Yeah.
She keeps helping her father. You know, my daughter Dorea runs the North American company in Canada while I'm here in Egypt enjoying the sunshine, you know. Actually working, but enjoying the sunshine. Okay, any other questions?
We got one from Timothy. What's the difference between the L66 and the L90?
Well, L66 works better with electromagnetic radiation to protect you from it. L90 works better on emotional level.
Okay, the next question is from Yosra. My question as a doctor is it a way of healing or improving the condition? I guess she's asking about
Okay, now I would like to clarify a point here. It applies to biogeometry, but it applies also to a lot of what we call energy healing. Because on the energy level, the energy goes beyond the confines of the body. Your energy, your vitality, emotional, mental levels, they extend well into your environment. So actually, when you're doing energy healing, and that's the way of biogeometry, you are actually harmonizing the energy exchange of the body with the environment. And when you harmonize the energy exchange, that means you're harmonizing energy functions of the body. And so once the subtle energy functions of the body are harmonized, you have your inner mechanism. You see, your inner divine doctor will start be able to heal actually when the energy is flowing without blockages. So you cannot call it directly a method of treatment, but I would call it environmental harmony, inner and outer environments. You see, that's the way we should look at it. So we are not directing the healing towards an organ, although, of course, in most cases, we affect the organ directly. But it must be understood that it is through a holistic energy exchange with the environment that the results occur.
Okay. A question from Timothy is, are compression waves synonymous with torsion fields or zero-point energy?
Well, zero-point energy is when you go to the lowest level of energy in our electromagnetic world. Now, compression waves, you don't have to go that far down to look for compression waves. I mean, the air has compression waves. The sound of our voice are compression waves. You see, there are many compression waves that are slower than the speed of light that we have in everyday life. When I design a theater, I'm using geometrical shapes to interact with the compression waves of the sound to produce a proper sound in the theater. But imagine compression waves do not have a fixed speed. they can decelerate or accelerate. So compression waves can be found also much higher than the speed of light. So you can find them, for example, in the background energy. You will find that there are levels that are much faster than the speed of light, and there are compression waves there. Like I said, your emotions, your thoughts, they are non-electromagnetic compression waves, all of them. The word compression waves here is used holistically to mean all waves that are beyond electromagnetism, that are beyond the speed of light. Because there are levels there where you can't call them waves the way we understand them, you know. There are higher levels where the waves are multidirectional. They are not like the waves in our, you shouldn't imagine them like here where they go forwards like that. No, there are levels where they are multidirectional. So the waves go everywhere in the space. They can go backwards and forwards in time, you know, exactly like your thoughts, like your feelings, you know. It's a different spatial or time-space environment up once you go higher.
Okay. The next question we have is from Janice and Loretto, which is about Wi-Fi. Loretto asks, I would like to ask if proliferation of Wi-Fi signals in the world has detrimental effect on our bioenergy. If so, how can we eliminate it?
Well, Wi-Fi is one of the worst things that you can have, because Wi-Fi, I mean, electrosensitive people cannot stay in a room or in a space that has Wi-Fi. And now the latest generation of smart meters that we have, they are just as bad as Wi-Fi because they produce those impulses, you know, in the house. So we have little attachments that we put on Wi-Fi, but I'll give you some solutions that you can apply directly if you don't want to go buying a biogeometry solution. You can use the power of numbers, you know. Take the cable, any electrical cable that you have going to your computer or going to your Wi-Fi, then where nearest to the plug, at the end nearest to the plug, you make a knot. And then somewhere along the cable, you make 9 lines and then leave a small gap and make 16 lines. This in itself will reduce a lot of the harm of Wi-Fi or other things. It is mainly on the cable, it is mainly for the electromagnetic radiation in cables, but it will help with Wi-Fi, but it's not a direct solution for Wi-Fi. So it will reduce the effect a bit, but not totally. We have other solutions, especially for the Wi-Fi.
Okay, that's good. And Kalo asks, could biogeometry help improve the condition of a person with depression, dementia, or similar mental problems?
Well, actually, this is my field of work lately, and we've done wonders with that. I'm actually working now on building centers here in Egypt for children with special abilities, you know, all kinds of brain disturbances. And these centers are centers of reintegration of those children in society. And we developed the geometrical shapes of the classrooms in such a way that they would restore the chemical balance in the brain and restore any brain problems, depression being one of the easy ones. So we have a doctor's degree even by one of my students in a center of depression where we use geometrical shapes in a decorative pattern, like a small decorative pattern that we put on the wall of a room, and it actually raises the serotonin level in the brain to normal. And we tested that at a university in Egypt, in Mansoura. They tested that on rats. You know, they got rats, and I don't know how they can depress rats. I don't know, maybe they tell them a sad story, show them a film or something. I don't know the method they use, but you find that depressed rats, the serotonin level goes down to about 30%. And they tried our solution, our biogeometry solution, against 3 of the most common drugs used as antidepressants. And biogeometry fared better than the other drugs. Only the best of the drugs was on the same level as biogeometry effect. We managed to restore the serotonin level to above 70% from its original. The control rats had a level of 80%, the ones that were not depressed. So we are developing products, medallions and rings and things like that, that should be out in the next 2-3 months, based on the research in that project. So they will have a good effect on depression. Plus, we have reduced the shapes of the classrooms that are specially made for brain problems. We have reduced them into a shape of like a lampshade or something small like that, that we can make as a cheap product, and it could be easily shipped where you just put one in your room and it will affect the whole room, you know. So these are the solutions we have today for depression.
Okay. The next question is from Jana. My father is 75 and got brittle juvenile diabetes when he was 50 years old. Will the biosignature pendant help him with that?
Well, your father is about my age, and so we should take care of each other, you know. So definitely by improving the subtle energy pathways in the body, there will be an improvement in many ways. I can't tell you exactly in which direction will the improvement happen, but there will be definitely an improvement if he wears one of the biosignature medallions. Now, the improvement would also depend on his environment. If there's a wireless in the house or in the room, we should find a solution for that. Otherwise, the improvement will not be that good, so you have to take care of the wireless too. And things sometimes like earth radiation or things like that could also affect it. So if you use a multi-layered solution, you get the best effect. But if you don't have the possibility to do that, then just let him wear a medallion, and at the same time, on any electrical cable in the house, like we said, 9 strokes, 16 strokes, and then a knot at the end. This should help him a lot. But instead, if you don't have access to the medallion, then get the emitter. Start today with the emitter. Once you get the emitter, then put his picture in there, and you'll find already he'll start improving.
Okay. The next question is from Timothy. Do you think ancient civilizations had this knowledge? He's talking pre-10,000 years ago.
Well, I want to tell you something. I have been working with biogeometry for 45 years now. Now, what I have reached in those 45 years, which for us today looks like a futuristic science, and we can do wonderful solutions that cannot be done by mainstream science. Now imagine that somebody is working with geometrical shapes, but instead of 45 years, for 4,500 years. Imagine what he would be able to do. I am looking at ancient civilizations through the eyes of biogeometry, and I mean, it's like looking into a treasure cove. I'm looking at things that I translate them into energy language, and they mean a completely different thing. So that's why I call the ancient civilizations, like in Egypt, for example, when I look at it, I don't speak like other people speak about ancient Egypt, I always speak about my ancient Egypt. That's from the energy point of view, from the energy sciences point of view. That's where the secrets of the temples lie. That's how they did their miracles. They had no miracles. We call them today miracles, but they had sciences. Everything was scientific.
Okay. The next question was from Timothy. I'm not sure if this was done already, Dr. Karim Ibrahim. How do the shapes project compassion wave energy?
How what?
How do the shapes project compassion wave energy? How do the shapes project compression wave energy? Sorry.
Okay. Now, you see, compression waves exist. You know, imagine they're like the waves of the normal waves of water stream. These are compression waves. You know, imagine a water stream going. So the waves are already out there. You don't have to project them. Now, you can put certain geometrical shapes in the water to produce a certain effect of turbulence. Now, imagine that there are certain geometrical shapes that can sort of push the turbulence to make it much stronger. That's how it is. The compression waves do not exist inside the geometrical shapes and they're projected out. The geometrical shapes produce a carrier wave, you know, like geometrical energy on a higher level produce a simple carrier wave like that. And those carrier waves interact with the shape itself, with the environment, and then they produce the energy. It is actually, it's much easier than it sounds, because if you go into, if you read my book, and you can find it on Amazon or even in Kindle, we have one at cost price in Kindle. So you can read all the details of that, and you'll find that really it is so simple, because the physics of quality is much easier than the quantitative physics. Quantitative physics, you have to go home and study it. Qualitative physics, you will feel when you study it, you will feel as if you've always known it, you know, because you're speaking about attributes, about things you see every day around you. So it's very, very easy. Just go into the book. Don't, you know, when people ask complex scientific questions, they think that physics of quality and biogeometry is complex because I have to answer those questions. But if you read the book, you'll find that it's really a very nice paradigm. It's a change of the way you look at the universe around you. You see it differently. You see it as one unity interacting together. You know, you see the universe as one big symphony that you're either playing or composing and all that. You don't have to go into the science of waves to play music, you see, or to enjoy listening to music. So it's much easier than people think.
Okay, and let's take in the last question from Loretto. Loretto, where can I find more information on the knots and cables, 9 lines, 16 lines on the cable lines? I suppose you meant TV phone lines.
No, you see, any cable that you have in your home. I'll explain it in a simple way. The number 9 has a quality that harmonizes the effect of electricity on our body. The number 16 reproduces the energy of a sacred power spot. So you put 16 lines and 9 lines, so you're harmonizing the energy going into the cable. It is producing a sort of harmonizing, healing energy, reducing the effect of electrosmog. So it's a very simple way of doing it without resorting to biogeometry devices, you see. And then a knot at the end also helps. So it's a very easy thing. But the information, you can find it on our website. You can find it in my book. You can find it in a lot of our work.
Well, thank you so much, Ibrahim, for answering our questions and also for that very rich and engaging content that you just offered us an hour ago. We really appreciate it. And
Yes.
thanks everyone for joining us in this session. We'll see you all at the next presentation at 2 p.m. Pacific time with Adam Carey of the Entangled app. See you. Bye.